How's everybody doing? My name is Darrell Bennett. I want to encourage you today. For we know that all things work together for the good of them that love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. I'm not going to be long. I just want to, for we know. Sometimes it's not about what you feel. I'm talking to myself now because it don't feel like it. It don't look like it. But the scripture says we know it. See, sometimes you got to elevate above your feelings because your feelings will get you messed up in the game. Your feelings will have you seeing stuff and doing stuff that ain't right. But we know that all things, let me stop. We know that all things work together for the good. Let me speak on what good is. It's what's useful for the king. It's not going to necessarily work for my good. I know people say that scripture, all things going to work together for my good. That's not what the scripture says. It says that all things are going to work together for the good. Well, what's the good? We're not talking about necessarily a moral highness. We're talking about good, meaning usefulness, what's good for him. All things are going to work together for his plan. This is one thing that I know. Every knee will bow. Trust me, it might take 10 years, it might take 20, it might take a whole millennium before it all happens, but every knee will bow and every tongue will confess before it's all said and done. And so as I get off, I just want to say this. I want to thank you that have been watching and encouraging me. This is a hard season. You have to know when I get on here and encourage people, there is an attack that comes on my life just from doing this. All types of just crazy stuff that I have never dealt with just happening around me. And I began to deal with some discouragement last night. I've been dealing with discouragement for a while. I've been dealing with discouragement my whole life. But it came really strongly over the past couple of days. And I want to encourage you as I encourage me. It doesn't matter what it feels like. It doesn't matter what it looks. I'm not going to say it doesn't matter. Yeah, it might matter. But that's not what ultimately our crux is. Remember we talked about identity? Identity is our enduring core. Let me go back to that. Our identity is that we know that the finished works of Christ is done. We know that we are seated in heavenly places. We know that we are far out of reach from every power and dominion that can touch us. We know that there is a purpose over our life. We know that there is a hand that is guiding us. We know that there is a grace that we move in. We know these things. So even when we feel differently and we see differently, we stand in what we know.